Hello and welcome all my dear third standard students. This is Rohan sir from Mahdi English Medium School. I welcome you to the second part of the science lecture. Yes, this science lecture was divided into two parts, as you know that. Yes, only those who have watched the previous lecture will come to know this. Because in the previous lecture, we started a new chapter, the reading of the new chapter and the explanation of the same. So this could be the second part of explanation of the chapter 14, our earth. Now we're going to continue that chapter. From the previous lecture, you might have got the idea about the life on the earth, what is the shape of the earth, and the movement of the earth. We will surely recall what we have understood, what we have discussed in the previous lecture, and then we will jump on to the today's remaining topics from the chapter number 14, our earth. So welcome once again in today's science lecture, and I hope that all my dear students are ready with the books. If you are not ready yet, please get ready with your books. Only the textbook is needed. For those who are not having the textbook, they can keep the rough book for now, and they have to pay attention in the lecture on the screen, as textbook I always display on the screen while I am explaining you. So I hope that all my dear students are ready. As in the previous lecture, in the end I asked you to be ready for the next lecture, and I always ask you to be ready for the next lecture. The students who are well prepared and are very regular might be sitting with their books always in the lecture. So let's get started. Let us continue with chapter 14, our earth. So in the previous lecture, I told you that we are living on the planet earth. Now that is the thing I don't have to tell you, but still in the rare case students might ask me, sir, what is our earth? Yes, this is very exception, because all of us know that we live on the planet and the name of that planet is earth. So in the previous lecture we discussed about the topic life on the earth, and you know that so far not even the scientists have come to know that is there the life outside the earth. We cannot even reach to the planet Jupiter, which is 400 light years away from us. If we cannot reach there, how will we come to know that the life is there or not? Not even a single machine is prepared which can travel this much distance, because it is very, very far away. And that is the only reason why all the planets are not meeting into the accident, because they are very away from each other. Our neighbor, the nearest neighbor is our moon, which is the satellite of earth. And like moon, every planet has or are having different satellites. Then we saw shape of the earth. What is the shape of the earth? It's spherical, it's not exact circle. This is what we came to know. And we also discussed that at first, when technologies were not there, human beings thought that our earth is flat, it is straight, it is not round, because our eyesight can capture the thing which is in the straight direction. Now slowly when it goes down, we cannot capture that unless we travel to that distance. And by the time we travel to that distance, again the flat surface is there right in the front of your eyes. That is why when the astronauts went into the space, they came to know that planet Earth is round. And one small activity was given here which could easily explain why the earth was round. I hope this activity was clear in the previous lecture. So this proves that our earth is spherical in the shape. Then we moved on towards the next topic, which was movements of the earth. Yes, like human beings, like I said in the previous lecture as well, we human beings move from one place to another. We move at the same place also. We have different movements. Similarly, earth also has the movements. It has two movements, rotation and revolution. Now we discussed the topic rotation in the previous lecture. We will continue from that. Rotation and revolution. If we spin a top, it moves round and round while staying at the same place. The top is said to spin about a line passing through its center. We cannot see this line, so it is called imaginary line. In the same way, our earth also spins about an imaginary line that passes through its center. It is called axis of the earth. The spinning movement of the earth about its axis is called rotation. So basically I explained you that when the earth moves round and round at the same point, that is called rotation. Yes, earth even moves from one place round around the sun and comes back to the same place. So this also happens. But it even spins at the same place, like the ball spins in the cricket match. Though the ball travels from the bowler to the batsman, but it also spins, right? So in the same way, our earth also spins. And that is called the rotation movement of the earth. It does not spins like this, anti-clockwise. It does not spins upside down. It only spins this way through the one imaginary line on its axis. That is called rotation. And that makes day and night on the earth, because one rotation even takes 24 hours. And now I hope you know why the day is of 24 hours. So 24 hours makes a day, and when the earth rotates, the face which is on the sun side, or the part of the earth which is facing towards the sun, has the daytime there, and the other side has the night time. As you can see clearly in the picture, this is the half part. On the left hand side, this part is facing towards sun, and that's why it is lighted. It is lightning. See here, you can see that light is there, but on the right hand side, light is not there. It's full of darkness. So this shows day and night respectively for left and right side. And this is how originally it happens in the space. So here you can see that clear picture is given, and this is the reason why it is night in America but it is day in India, and this is why different time zones are there because of the rotation. So now you know that all this day and night is because of the rotation of the earth. And even we discussed about this activity. I hope you will do this. Let's start from today's new topic, revolution. Revolution. The earth moves around the sun in a fixed path called Earth's orbit. The movement of the earth around the sun in an orbit is called revolution. The earth takes about 365 days and 5 hours to complete one revolution. 365 days makes a year. Now you can see that Earth is moving from one end to another, from that end to another end, and so on and so forth. So this way Earth revolves around the Sun. So when the Earth goes around the Sun, that movement is called revolution. So my dear students, Earth not only moves on the same place, but it also moves like this, round and round and round, and around the Sun as well. So rotation and revolution. See the cursor on the screen. Rotation, which happens at the same place, and at the same time revolution, which goes around the Sun. As you can see here, arrows going. So from here Earth moves to here. Now you can see in this part, as this part is on our side and the other part is facing to the Sun. So that inner part which is facing to the Sun might be having the day, and this part is having darkness, means night time. And the same you can see in all the pictures, that the part of the Earth which does not faces the Sun has the dark side, that means has the night time. Now you will say that, sir, where has moon gone? So students, let me show it to you. Can you see here a beautiful picture? Okay, I have enlarged this image. This is Sun. This is our Earth. And this is our satellite Moon. So you can see that our Earth not only rotates round and round, but also, though it is rotating round and round, but it also makes the movement, it also changes its place. And this is the path, this is the orbit of the Earth. Earth will not cross this line. Earth will not cross this line. You can see on the fixed line it will move round. It will not go out of the line, it will not come in the line. So it has the fixed path called orbit. And along with that you can see that as the Earth moves like this, Moon is connected to the Earth with the Earth's atmosphere. And Moon also moves like round and round, and it walks along with the Earth. When the Earth reaches here, Moon is also revolving around the Earth. When the Earth reaches here, Moon again is revolving around the Earth. So Moon also moves with the Earth, and this makes day and night difference. Wasn't it very interesting to see this? So this movement happens properly, periodically. That is why we are having day and night. Now as you can see, it is written here that Earth takes about 365 days and 5 hours to complete one revolution. So can you just imagine that when Earth starts its travel from here, it goes round around the Sun, and again it turns back and comes to the same position. For this, Earth takes 365 days, which completes 1 year and 5 hours. So this is the time taken by the Earth for completing one revolution. So how slowly it might be moving. That is the reason why we even can't feel rotation or revolution. So now I hope students that how day and night happens, how 1 year changes, everything you have understood. Let's read what is written in the boxes, the extra information. The orbit and the axis of the earth are only imaginary lines and helps scientists in doing calculations. They do not exist in real. This line, if you can see, these are not really there in the space. These are just imaginary because earth moves on its orbit, and obviously when it moves like this, it has a proper line, imaginary line given by the scientists. The planet Mercury takes 59 days to make a rotation but 88 days to circle the sun. So planet Mercury only takes 88 days to complete one revolution around the sun. So a year in the Mercury is just 3 months on the earth. So whenever here on the earth we complete 3 months, in Mercury already 1 year is completed as per the calculations which we consider on the planet Earth. So I hope that this information was pretty interesting for you. Now students, it's time to have fun solving the objectives which are very interesting and which we solve in all the chapters while we are solving the chapters, while we are understanding the chapters. Students, I request you to either hold your pencil and textbook or your pencil and your rough book quickly. So that those who are not having textbook, at least they will write the answers in their rough book itself. So those who are writing in the rough book, they have to write page number 142, chapter 14, and then you can write question 1, question 2 as we solve it. I hope that all the students might be ready by now. Let's get started. Circle the odd one out in each of the following. This is what we have been doing in all the chapters continuously, right? So this is very easy, isn't it so? Number 1, rotation, constellation, revolution. So which is the odd one here? So you have to find out from these 3 words which 2 words could be relatable. So just check rotation, constellation, revolution. Now I am giving you time. Try to find out the odd one. Your time starts now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. So which is the odd one here? Constellation, right? Because rotation and revolution are the movements of our earth. Constellation is the design made by the group of stars in the space, in the sky. So which is like odd one in the list. Number 2, axis, orbit, satellite. Find out which word does not match in the list. Your time starts now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and 0. So which one was the odd for you? Axis and orbit? No. Satellite. Earth rotates on its own axis and it revolves on its orbit. So axis and orbit again are related to the rotation and revolution of the earth respectively. And so satellite, it is not related with the axis or orbit at all. That is why it is an odd one. Number 3, day and night, orbit, rotation. Pick out the odd one quickly. Again, you are getting the time. Your time starts now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and 0. So which one is the odd one here? Obviously orbit. Why? Because day and night happens because of the rotation movement of our earth. So they are directly related to each other, and so orbit is the odd one. I hope you are getting the same answers as I am getting, students, and at least you are trying to find it out before I underline the odd one. Number 4th, revolution, day and night, year. Come on, quickly find out the odd one. Your time starts now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. So which is the odd one? Day and night. Why? Because revolution and year are directly related, like day and night and rotation are. Day and night happens because of rotation. That means 24 hours is the time of rotation and 365 days is the time of revolution. That means year. So I hope that you have marked the words, and those who are writing in the rough book, I hope they have written the words which I have underlined, because these are the ones you have to underline once you get your textbook. Question 2. Write T for the true and F for the false statements. True or false? Let us solve it. The earth rotates in its orbit. Find it out whether it is true or false. Your time starts now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Is it true or false? Earth rotates in its orbit? No, it rotates on its axis. So this statement is false. I hope you have written the same answer. If not, change your answer, and I hope that you will refer to the chapter again. You will come to know that it rotates on its axis, not on the orbit. On the orbit it revolves. Number 2. The earth takes 1 day to go round the sun once. Whether it is true or false, write it down. Your time starts now. Read it properly. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and 0. So the earth takes 1 day to go round the sun? No, it takes 365 days. That means 1 year to go round the sun. So this again is the false statement. And the last one, rotation causes day and night. Is it true or false? Find it out and send me the answer in my WhatsApp. Okay, let's continue our environment. The air, water, land, animals, plants and the places we live in all form a part of our environment. But we human beings have made our environment dirty. We have carelessly cut down the trees and dirtied our water bodies. We harmed the environment by making the air unclean, making the water dirty, cutting down the trees. See, students, all these things, plants, animals, land, we human beings ourselves, we all are the part of environment. So we have damaged all the parts of environment, air, water, land, everything. Even we have damage to each other, right? So in which three main ways we have damaged the environment? We have damaged the environment, we have harmed the environment by making the water dirty, by making the air dirty, by making the forests dirty, by cutting down the trees, making the air unclean. Now smoke from the factories, vehicles make the air unclean. Burning of the garbage and plastic items causes air pollution and many other things. Nowadays you might have seen that smokes come out from the vehicles, right? Which damages the air, and we breathe the oxygen from the same air. Just imagine how dirty we make the air we breathe in, which goes in our lungs, and eventually it will damage our lungs and our health. Making the water dirty. Now washing clothes, bathing animals and waste from the industries make the water dirty. Plastic waste harm the water bodies and kills the animals and plants living in the water. So the animals, the plants which grow in the water are harmed by the plastic. We throw the plastic bags in that and they eat it and they die sometimes. We wash the clothes near the sea in the ocean and we make that dirty too. So by every single thing, even the chemical wastes from the factory, they throw in the nearby water bodies and they dirty those water bodies by throwing the wastes. And even we cut down the trees in the large numbers for growing the crops or making the houses. But we don't understand the simple reason, which I already said when we were starting the chapter, that when you saw in the previous chapter, Neil Armstrong was the first astronaut to step onto the moon. He was holding the oxygen cylinder, without which he could not have survived there. But on the earth, we don't have to wear the oxygen cylinder because we are getting it. From where are we getting it? From the trees, from the plants. If plants and trees would not have been here, we would not survive even for a minute. So without water, without air, without oxygen, trees, our life is not possible on the earth. The earth will be as the other planets, that means lifeless. So with this, I keep my lecture till here and I keep you thinking. I'll just ask you to think about this, because in the next lecture again I'll revise these three topics and then we will solve the objectives. Have a nice day. Goodbye.